I request Dr. Krishnadas sir to share his few words about Mr. Ganesan.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. I think Preeti has put it in a good perspective about Mr. Ganesan. Um, I think Nandini or Preeti, who I don't know who said that I have been an inspiration for Ganesan. The converse is actually true. Ganesan has been a great inspiration for me. I have known him and his family for the past close to a quarter of a century, 25 years. It's a long time. And when I had become his personal ophthalmologist, as Preeti had mentioned in his life story, he did have some useful vision in one eye. And even then, he used to struggle a lot, but waded his way through during his engineering studies. And unfortunately, the retina got damaged in the accident she has mentioned. But with all the medical advances that we now have, we could not succeed in restoring any useful vision to Mr. Ganesan. But I think Mr. Ganesan, his conviction, his grit, his strength, his conviction of character, his determination, his positive emotions, positive attitude towards life, all this had the last laugh. And I think he largely succeeded in transcending all his challenges, barriers, and in becoming a very inspiration for the rest of us, I must say. Uh, Prior to Mr. Ganesan's endeavors and his successes, I used to feel as an ophthalmologist and specialized in glaucoma, mostly, and as a senior ophthalmologist in this part of the country, I mostly see very challenging patients, and most of them have very little vision left. And when we come across such young people who are yet to achieve a lot in life lose their vision, it's very depressing. And prior to seeing what Mr. Ganesan has achieved, I used to feel very disappointed, depressed, and uh, have lot of sympathy for these people for whom science could not do much. But after seeing the singular example of Mr. Ganesan, I had a very positive transformation in that whenever I see any person, any young person in fact, without much useful vision, I used to quote the example of Mr. Ganesan and Mr. Subramaniam. There is another person in Madurai in a similar condition who also has fought his way. I used to quote these two examples and try to encourage them and convince them that much could be done with whatever good faculties are left. For some reason, people who have one faculty affected, no, they have other faculties very sharp, and they tend to, by nature, they tend to hone their other faculties very well. That's what Preeti has said, no. That is my very impression of Mr. Ganesan. Whenever I message him or call him, just by a ring, he would pick up the call and say, yes, Dr. Krishnadas. I would used to wonder how he recognizes. And for all my messages, either by WhatsApp or email, he would instantly reply. That's the way he has tried to develop his other faculties. And I used to tell my patients who are equally unfortunate the moving example of Mr. Ganesan and try to motivate them. And several of them we have been able to motivate. And thankfully now recently we have a good rehabilitation center in our hospital for these people. And we also have some technology assisted rehabilitation efforts which are able to help many of these people. I'm happy to say that much behind these efforts there is inspiration posed by Mr. Ganesan. And the influence he has, the inspiration he has, can be very well seen from the presence of many distinguished dignitaries who have been present here. And I feel very happy to be amongst them in greeting Mr. Ganesan. And I'm sure the example of Ganesan, his endeavors, his going out of the way to launch this website to be of use to people who are similarly differently abled. I wish him all success on behalf of all the dignitaries present here. Today I was very happy seeing his seeing this occasion, and this morning I had shared this information of Mr. Ganesan with many of my friends, doctor friends, especially those in my alumni college, alma mater, Kelpak Medical College, and each one of them had sent a message of congratulations, and they said Mr. Ganesan is indeed an example of great inspiration. To sum up, I am just reading one of the messages sent by my one colleague. So inspiring to hear about such individuals and their determination. God bless him, and may he continue be to the blessing for many. This summarizes the spirit with which all of us greet Mr. Ganesan on his endeavor, and on my behalf, on behalf of all my friends, well-wishers who have greeted him today, and on behalf of my institution, Aravind Eye Care Hospital, I wish him great success, great life, and very congratulations to his team who have been behind him during all these efforts. I am sure he has a very dedicated and determined team to assist him in this endeavor, and I should not our recall of Mr. Ganesan's effort and inspiration will be very incomplete if I do not mention about the support he has had from his family. I always remember Mr. Ganesan as an image with his father walking in front with Ganesan's right hand on his left shoulder. That's how Mr. Ganesan's father brings him to my room in the hospital. And whenever, earlier I told you I used to feel lot of sympathy for Mr. Ganesan. And I think being sympathetic to Mr. Ganesan or such people, differently abled people, differently capable people, is to be disrespectful of them. I think all such people, we should not sympathize, but we should motivate them to do what best they can, use the best of the faculties they have. And I think the best way of respecting and recognizing people like Mr. Ganesan is to be inspired by them ourselves and to motivate others to become like them. So I thank you very much. I'm really very proud and pleased to launch this great website. I'm very proud of my association with Mr. Ganesan, and I'm really very pleased and feel very honored to launch this website amongst the distinguished guests who are present here. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your valuable thoughts, sir. We are truly honored. We believe that we can motivate and inspire more people through our website.